Now they have access from their basement to our children's bedroom.
He's talking about internet predators. It's easier than ever before for them to get to your kids. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. Jennifer's off tonight, and that access is dangerous. One example is the case we saw this week in which 15 men were charged for trying to engage sexually with minors online. Investigators posed as kids and convinced those men to meet in Bradley, where they were arrested. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting joins us now. So, Courtney, this is particularly disturbing if you're a parent. It's disgusting, in fact. It's nearly impossible to monitor your kids 100% of the time, though, if they're online.
Yeah, Paul, definitely. It can seem like that situation is out of your control, and almost all of us have to use the internet in some way, and it's more common than ever for kids to also use it. Using it, though, comes with risks, as we know. I talked to U.S. Attorney John Millhiser, who worked on the investigation into the men who were arrested. He says these types of crimes are on the rise. One of the best ways Millhiser suggests to protect your kids is to have conversations with them about internet safety. No, it's not an easy or fun conversation to have, but kids deserve to know the risk of doing anything online.
There's nothing wrong with you as a parent and your 14 or 15-year-old. They don't know everything. Sometimes they think they do. So have those regular conversations and monitor what sites they're going to, who they're talking to, and reinforce that the dangers are out there.
Some websites have considered end-to-end encryption. That means only users would be able to access their information, not law enforcement. A judge would likely rule in the favor of investigators if they said they needed access because the child was in danger, but it would require a lot more time and resources to be able to make that argument. Now, there are resources available to help you understand how to have conversations with your kids about internet use. For a list of those, head to our website at WCIA.com. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Yeah, definitely not an easy conversation to have, Courtney. Thanks. Well, another important thing for parents to keep an eye on is those age recommendations for apps. If your child is too young to use it, they probably shouldn't have it, but in many instances, they can easily ignore that requirement without a parental password on the device. That's why it's important to discuss those dangers. A man in Decatur's in custody after police say he kidnapped his own baby. Our partners at the Herald and Review report Norman Gates refused to return his 6-month-old son to the child's mother after a visit. Police say Gates took the child and left his apartment after a relative of the mother came to pick up the boy. They say he taunted the mother, implying he left the baby outside to freeze to death. Police were able to track Gates' location after he called 911. The baby was found safe early yesterday morning. Police arrested the son of Springfield Mayor Jim Langfelder early this morning for DUI and drug possession. UIS police pulled over Ryan Langfelder around 1:20. They say he was weaving in and out of his lane, threw a beer can out the window of his car, and blew a stop sign. He took a breathalyzer, which showed he was over the legal limit. Police say Langfelder also had Xanax with him. He said he bought it on the street and took it before driving. The mayor sent a statement today saying in part, quote, "As all parents do, we face difficult moments with our children, and we hope they learn the lessons in those instances. I am no different." A woman in Vermilion County was convicted today of pepper spraying a police officer in the face 2 years ago. Police were called to the parking lot of Club Deuce in Danville for a fight among about 100 people. Deborah White walked up and sprayed an officer in the eyes, hair, and mouth. She then tried to drive away, but was caught by another detective. White will be sentenced in April. She faces between probation and up to 7 years in prison. Now, for a follow-up on the Edgar County Jail, a former sheriff says it needed upgrades years ago. Former Sheriff Edward Motley wrote a memo in 2012 to the county board detailing the jail's conditions and needed improvements. It was closed in December. A referendum will be on the March ballot to increase the sales tax by 1% to help either reopen the jail or search for long-term options. But Motley says it may be too late. Airport staff is worried there will be issues at facility checkpoints across the country come October. If you want to fly in the U.S., you'll need a real ID or a passport. It's a federal mandate that goes into effect October 1st. Airport leaders are cautioning lawmakers. Some are even calling for the deadline to be postponed.
Our airport's professional trade group is asking Congress or the administration to push the deadline back because they foresee, especially at bigger airports, I think they foresee a lot of chaos.
The worry comes from a survey by the U.S. Travel Association, which shows nearly 100 million Americans do not have the appropriate identification. A state lawmaker wants to make it mandatory for people to get their vaccinations even if their religion forbids it. WCIA3's Cole Hankey's in our Capitol newsroom tonight. So, Cole, who would be impacted by this proposal?
It would cover all ages through all levels of school, Paul, and it removes all exemptions based on religion for vaccinations. Currently, students can bypass the school's vaccination requirements if it is against their religion, but that can open the door for those who are already vaccinated to still get sick. Requiring vaccinations would help reach the threshold for diseases to really be contained.
Herd immunity is not just that 90% of the people are immunized that they will be protected, especially diseases like measles. You have to have more than 95% of the people immunized before one can talk about herd immunity.
The bill would also allow kids 14 or older to get whatever vaccinations they want without their parent or guardian's permission. Now, this bill has yet to be assigned to a committee, and if it is passed eventually, it would not go into effect until January of 2022. Reporting in Springfield, I'm Cole Hankey, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Certainly some conversation to be had on that legislation. Cole, thanks. Well, it is deadline day for people to turn in applications for a vacancy on Urbana City Council. The city is looking to fill the Ward 6 seat vacated by Dean Hazen. He announced on February 3rd he was stepping down. Hazen said he was doing it because of scheduling conflicts with family and work. The weather doesn't quite feel like it, but spring is coming. How you can come hang out with us and get ready for warmer weather. Plus, there's nothing quite like a hands-on science class, and the one some students in Central Illinois got today was out of this world.
WCIA3 News is brought to you by Menards.
The hottest design trend is luxury vinyl flooring.
Designer Jennifer Bertrand for Flooring America.
You get the look of wood or stone for a lot less. Plus, it's waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. They can install this right over your existing floor. No fuss, no muss, no chaos. She's gonna love this.
You'll love select luxury vinyl floors at sale prices, savings up to 40%, plus special financing. Flooring America, the most recommended flooring store.
For hundreds of years, Americans systematically stole black lives, black freedom, and black labor. Now, I know my story would have turned out very differently if I had been black. So today I'm proposing a sweeping strategy to invest in black wealth creation. The wealth gap is inextricably linked to the racial inequalities of the past, and I'm determined to make breaking that link a centerpiece of my presidency.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Life's more rewarding at Blain's Farm and Fleet during our Rewards Member Appreciation Weekend this Friday through Sunday. Not a Rewards member? Sign up for free, in-store, online, or on the Farm and Fleet app. And this weekend only, earn double points for every dollar you spend. Plus, free giveaways on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the first 100 members through checkout. Life's more rewarding with double points during Blain's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Member Appreciation Weekend. Don't miss it.
With new Casey's Rewards, you can turn pizza into school donations. Download the Casey's app and earn points you can turn into donations to the schools you care about most. Or turn points into Casey's Cash or fuel discounts. Start earning more ways to give and get a little more good. Casey's Rewards. Points for school, points for you, points for fuel, points for good. Now at Casey's, get 2 large single-topping pizzas for just $9.99 each. Casey's, here for good.
Live from your local news leader, Jennifer Roscoe, Paul Cicchini, and Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty. You're watching WCIA3 News at 5.
Setup is underway for the Home and Garden Expo at Lincoln Square Mall in Urbana. The show runs tomorrow and Sunday. It's a great way to start thinking about spring. There are vendors for everything from plumbing to lawn care. You'll also get a chance to win lots of prizes while you're there.
Having people think towards spring and summer for outdoor projects as well as indoor projects, but also in the spring there's the possibility for storms, so you can always be thinking about roofs and projects like that.
If that's not enough, you can also meet some of us from WCIA3. CI Living's Tim Sinclair will be hosting The Price is Right both days, so you'll have lots of chances to win a $100 gift card. It all starts tomorrow at 9. Kids are often told to try and reach for the stars. Today, they got to see something reach the atmosphere instead. The Atmospheric Sciences Department at the University of Illinois released a weather balloon at Atwood Junior High. Students from Lovington, Arthur, and Atwood got to see it go up and learn about what they're used for in weather forecasting. They say they want to get kids hooked on science early on.
Seeing this and seeing science live really gets the kids excited, and they were all excited about it. It's something new. We try to go hands-on at all 3 junior highs, and this is as hands-on as you're going to get.
They also stuck a phone in the balloons so they could get video of the curvature of the Earth. That's got to be a story you like to see.
It definitely is. Literally, we use that every single day. Those balloons go up. What's interesting about on the bottom of that balloon, you may have seen there's a little package, and that is literally what radios back all the information. But that balloon eventually bursts, and that package falls back to the ground. And farmers find them in the fields around here all the time, and they ask you to give back to the Weather Service. But it's cool. It's a great tool and allows us to do our job every day.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool as well was this morning's temperature when we were down to around 10. So we made it back to the 30s today. It's going to be even better this weekend. We'll talk about a warmer weekend, and we'll track some rain when we come back.
WCIA3 News is sponsored by Ryan Dallas Real Estate.
Find over 65 porcelain and ceramic tile styles in stock at Menards. Update any room in your home with beautiful, durable, and waterproof 18 by 18 quartz gray stone porcelain tile from Milestone. Just $259 each. Over 50 in stock Kidde home safety products are on sale. Stay protected with this battery-powered smoke and carbon monoxide alarm. It has voice alert technology to help alert you of danger. Only $19.99. Find amazing deals right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
How does the automatic emergency braking in the Chevy Equinox work?
Oh, no. What?
Can you tell me how lane keep assist with lane departure warning works?
Lane departure warning? What is that exactly?
Kids may not know about the 2020 Chevy Equinox's standard safety features, but every parent should.
Get $4,250 cash allowance on most Equinox models. Plus, current GM owners get an additional $750 cash allowance. And eligible GM card members get $1,000 in bonus earnings.
See you guys.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities. For award-winning claims and sales service, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com.
Turn your tax refund into your down payment during Tax Match at Napleton's Auto Park of Urbana. That's right. Use your tax return as your down payment, and we'll match it. Napleton's Auto Park of Urbana has 7 manufacturers and nearly 700 cars for you to choose from. With so many vehicles in one location,
why shop anywhere else?
Match your tax today at Napleton's Auto Park of Urbana or napletonsautopark.com.
Napleton, second to none since 1931.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
Well, that is, I promise you, 6 hours worth of data, but you don't see a whole lot changing on that satellite and radar picture. A loop goes all the way back to 11:15 this morning. Nothing but nice, full sunshine and milder temperatures after what was a very cold start to the day. If you're out early this morning, you're like, oh man, this is really cold. We had single-digit wind chills. We had temperatures down in the single digits as well in some areas. And right now we're at 33, but it doesn't feel like that with, once again, that southerly wind that helped to warm us up is still creating a wind chill around 24 in Decatur, Champaign, and you're looking at 24 also in Watseka. Okay, the next 12 hours, our temperatures will not fall off as much. We were down, again, very cold this morning, but we're thinking low and mid-20s to start out on your Saturday. And then we are going to see temperatures getting all the way up to near 50 degrees. How about Hammond? Mostly sunny skies there. Saying hello to those of you tuning in Oakland tonight. What's going on? Sunshine and 50 for you. And we'll take you to Potomac. Similar conditions will be found with a high around 48 degrees. That's a nice looking weekend. Now, you're going to notice on this graphic here, the icon does show rain on Sunday, but we're talking late Sunday night. So I think that during the day on Sunday, you're still looking at some really nice weather. Here comes that rain Sunday night into Monday. And yeah, Monday looks to be very wet. Rainfall amounts pushing 3/4 of an inch to maybe a little bit over an inch in some areas. And we're going to see temperatures go from the upper 50, or I should say the upper 40s to near 50, all the way back down to just 30 for a high by next Thursday. So definitely take advantage of this weekend's temperatures. 26 tonight, 49 tomorrow, and again Sunday even warmer, but you're expecting more clouds and that rain to move in late. We go from, again, 53 down to 29 by next Friday with maybe a little bit of snow in between.
Almost makes you forget it's going to be winter for several more weeks.
About another month.
Several more weeks.
Yep.
Bummer.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, thanks. A village in Champaign County got a new tornado siren. This picture, take a look, was taken this morning by a maintenance worker from the village of Pasodum. We told you yesterday, NOAA weather radios will be out of commission for the foreseeable future. Sirens like this, just another way for you to know when there is severe weather in your area. You can also download the WCIA3 weather app. An old railroad station is getting new life. Why, it's not trains that will be moving through it, though. It's still to come. And what kid wouldn't want to do that? Pie their teacher in the face. Why, these students got to today.
WCIA3 News is sponsored by Ryan Dallas Real Estate.
Hello again, Central Illinois. Joe Antol of the Crown Toyota Family Experience here in Decatur. We at the Crown Toyota Family Experience are so excited that it's February, the love month, plus winter's almost over. We at the Crown Toyota Family Experience love selling Toyotas. In order to continue this love, we're carrying an extraordinary inventory in both new and pre-owned to support your needs. Come see us at Pershing and Main here in Decatur or online at crowntoyotafamily.com. Stay tuned for more.
Friday on the morning show, we told you why it was an important weekend for organizers at the State Farm Center.
And on Monday, we'll tell you how an event is hoping to celebrate diversity in the community.
Plus, meteorologist Adam Claybon will have your weather every 10 minutes in Weather on the Threes.
We'll see you there.
I think patient first care, in a sense, the name says exactly what it is, and that is that the patient always comes first. And if we lose that focus, we really have lost our way, I think. We have to meet patients where they are. For many patients, the first contact with HSHS at all will be through the medical group, and they may never, ever go inside one of our hospitals. So I think it would be a mistake for us to think that only in the acute care, only in the hospital, is HSHS care provided. If you talk about walk-in clinics and more ambulatory care settings, it's maybe the 21st century's version of what the sisters did when they first came. It's certainly the way healthcare is delivered today, and the goal really is not to use the hospital any more than absolutely necessary. We know with patient first care that we respect the patient, and that's the first thing that I think any of us need to do. The patient is the reason that we exist. My hope is that that continues to grow into the future.
The news continues here on WCIA3, your local news leader.
A relic in Ford County is starting to open its doors to the public again. The Paxton Depot was bought by the Monticello Railway Museum several years ago. After some touch-ups and refurbishments, the museum is looking like its old self. WCIA3's Andy Olson is here. So, Andy, the news is big for people who love trains.
Yeah, Paul, the Paxton Depot used to be run completely by the Central Illinois Railway Historical Society. A few years ago, they realized they needed help keeping the shop open, which brought in the Monticello Railway Museum. The current building for the Paxton Depot is an 1800s railway freight house. It's been a museum and archive space since the 1980s. The transition will have the depot become MRM's North Campus. Eventually, the archiving will be moved back to their main campus in Monticello. The former MRM president is excited about their expanded reach.
We've been working very hard behind the scenes until we could position ourselves where we could begin to go public and announce our plans. We have many exciting plans for 2020 and beyond, not only for Paxton, but for the Monticello Railway Museum as well.
The exhibits are very similar to what they looked like under Illinois Central. MRM invested in better lighting and improvements to preserve those current exhibits. They're also looking to take some of their archives digital. They have a team of volunteers reviewing century-old antiques to eventually move them online for everybody to enjoy. Paul?
Got to move into the 21st century.
Yeah, you do. We're moving that way.
All right, Andy, thanks. Well, another part of the merger that will help the depot is MRM's volunteer base. The Paxton Depot says it will allow the museum to be open more often. The goal is to welcome the public a couple of weekends each month. Well, look at today's top stories coming up. But first, the wrestlers aren't the only ones who have something to prove at the state finals this weekend. The State Farm Center is in the spotlight, too.
Congratulations to Abel Kalunga, Hoopston High School Senior Wrestling Standout, and WCIA3's Athlete of the Week. Nominate your favorite Athlete of the Week at WCIA.com. Sponsored by Loman Ray Insurance Group. WCIA3 News is brought to you by Menards.
Happy birthday, George. And to you, Abe.
At Miles Chevrolet, we're celebrating our founding fathers with a President's Day sale.
Monumental savings on our entire Chevy lineup.
Like up to $74.85 off a new 20 Equinox for $20,890.
$62.75 off of a 20 Malibu for only $17,990.
And over $10,275 on a Silverado Double Cab Custom for $32,990.
We're making presidential deals this month during the President's Day sale at Miles Chevrolet Decatur.
Everything must go at American Freight. Sofas from $198, sectionals from $298, 2 mattress sets any size from $298, 7-piece living room packages from $398, and 8-piece queen-size bedroom packages from $398. Take it home today for $50 and no payments for 60 days. Free layaway till tax time or longer. Same-day delivery ends February 29th. Convenient locations in Champaign and Decatur.
This is a story of the American dream. It starts here, in a middle-class neighborhood with a middle-class kid named Mike. When his father died, his mother went to work and became the breadwinner. She instilled in Mike a belief in hard work and a drive to build a better life. So he started a company from scratch with an idea and endless hours. Today, that makes him the only Democrat in the race who's created 20,000 jobs. He's the only Democrat who's run the largest and most diverse city in America, rebuilding after 9/11, creating over 450,000 jobs and expanding health care coverage to 700,000 people. The only Democrat who's built a grassroots movement to combat gun violence, and he's a leader combating climate change. The only Democrat who's never taken a penny from special interests. Now Mike is running to deliver on the American dream for everyone with common sense solutions and the ability to get it done, because Mike Bloomberg is the only Democrat who can take on Trump, and Trump knows it.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Tonight on the WCIA3 News at 6, we're learning more about a daycare worker accused of shaking a baby in her care, why she says she did it, and how soon she'll be headed to trial.
This is WCIA3 News, your local news leader.
Thousands of people are packing the State Farm Center this weekend for the IHSA Wrestling State Finals. It's a chance for the arena to prove it can take on another IHSA tournament. Wrestling's been hosted there for 50 years. Boys basketball spent 77 years at the arena before Peoria came in with a financial incentive the association just couldn't refuse. Organizers hosted a welcome reception today to show the IHSA how much it values this partnership.
We've had them for an Illini basketball game, a men's basketball game, so they were able to see the basketball in full action. They were able to see all the special effects that happen in and around the arena. They were able to see how close the students are to the floor and what a great fan experience that creates for them.
Visit Champaign County says the wrestling tournament brings in roughly $5 million for the area each year. It's estimating basketball would be similar. The IHSA will vote on the 2021 tournament location in April. Some students in Vermilion County got revenge on their teachers this afternoon. Potomac Grade School celebrated the end of the Kids Heart Challenge today. All month long, they raised money for the American Heart Association. Any student who raised at least $100 got to hit a teacher in the face with a pie. 20 kids hit the mark. In total, the school brought in more than $4,300. Still ahead, we'll have a look at what's making headlines in Central Illinois.
WCIA3 News is sponsored by Ryan Dallas Real Estate.
With new Casey's Rewards, you can turn pizza into school donations. Download the Casey's app and earn points you can turn into donations to the schools you care about most. Or turn points into Casey's cash or fuel discounts. Start earning more ways to give and get a little more good. Casey's Rewards. Points for school, points for you, points for fuel, points for good. Now at Casey's, get 2 large single-topping pizzas for just $9.99 each. Casey's, here for good.
Draperies and Interiors by Design. Quality blinds at affordable prices that are even now more affordable with up to 30% off. Faux and real wood blinds, shutters and honeycombs, roller and solar shades, cordless and motorized lifts. The custom window treatments you dream about are now within reach with 30% off. Before you buy online, check us out at Draperies and Interiors by Design, your affordable blind company.
Now we know the Trump strategy, try to win by attacking, distorting, dividing. Mr. President, it won't work.
Newspapers report Bloomberg is the Democrat Trump fears most. As president, universal health care that lets people keep their coverage if they like it. A record on job creation. A doable plan to combat climate change.
I led a complex, diverse city through 9/11, and I have common sense plans to move America away from chaos to progress.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Have you heard the buzz? INB's newest mortgage lenders are feeling right at home and are ready to get you into your new home. Don't go it alone. Start your mortgage loan process today by talking to the INB experts Denise Lindsay and Rhonda Lash.
Your loved one in a nursing home is supposed to be cared for by skilled professionals. But then you discover there's been a fall, head trauma, bed sores, or a broken bone. Call 888-MOM-AND-LAW for a free consultation. Mom and Law.
These are the top stories in central Illinois tonight. In Macon County, Norman Gates is in custody after police say he kidnapped his own baby. Our partners at the Herald and Review report Gates refused to return his 6-month-old son to the child's mother after a visit. Police say he taunted the mother with the baby's location. The baby was eventually found safe early yesterday morning. In Vermilion County, Deborah White was convicted today of pepper spraying a police officer in the face 2 years ago. Happened when police were called to the parking lot of Club Deuce in Danville for fights among a group of 100 people. White faces between probation or up to 7 years in prison. In Sangamon County, police arrested the son of Springfield Mayor Jim Langfelder early this morning for DUI and drug possession. UIS police pulled over Ryan Langfelder around 1:20. They say he was weaving in and out of his lane, threw a beer can out the window of his car, and blew a stop sign. Out of the Capitol, a proposal would prevent parents from claiming religious exemptions when opting out of vaccinations for their kids. It would also limit most types of medical exemptions and allow students as young as 14 to get a vaccine without parental consent. And coming up tonight at 6, a high school is heartbroken after one of its students was killed over the weekend in a crash. How another school is remembering the dedicated student and football player in a special way tonight.